Hello everyone. All doing okay today? Good day for stream. Let me just get this quick announced. How's it going? And got announced to my Facebook page. Facebook recently had some kind of update to their UI and layout. I really hate it because it's very much mobile. It doesn't look good, especially on an ultra-wide monitor where like 60% of the screen is completely underutilized. Music. Excellent. Listen, eventually there will be even more dances here. Anyway, for those who aren't familiar with streams, this is just an art stream, so I just record me while I'm drawing and working, and I chat a little bit. I chat. I think I might actually pop into my Discord voice. That way, if any of my patrons want to jump in as well, they can as well. I'll hang out in there. Move to here. I am not currently drawing Opie. That would get me demonetized.
Hello.
Oh, hello there.
Just got home just in time.
Excellent. Let me get my drawing stuff on. Oh, right. Also, as per usual, I need to shill. So let's see, what am I gonna shill today?
Shill that shirt that I bought like a month ago.
What shirt was that?
That was the coffee spider one.
I was gonna shill this instead. I got stickers.
Oh. Ah, yes. Best spode.
What better to stick on the chat than stickers?
One sec.
Hello, by the way.
Also, I'm gonna just really quick.
I told you.
Alright.
I drew this last night. Aria's adorable. I love her.
Yeah.
This pic.
Forever just still kind of initialized because sometimes when I first start my program, like right here, you see that there's this weird random straight line. Like eventually it goes away after some time, but it's like always when I first open CSP, first start my computer.
I just realized you are Angel Mommy and now I am Salt Daddy.
Yes. Is that worth interrupting him for?
What's my point rate? Doing this.
I don't know.
Those look kind of liney.
Yeah, there's like random straight lines. As I was saying, there's a random issue that sometimes happens where when I first start my program, I get these random, like, spots of straight lines. It's weird.
It's like the tablet's skipping a beat.
It's a polling rate issue, where the polling rate is inconsistent. It's not going fast enough. Though I think it goes away after I open up my driver interface. I noticed, like, when I opened it, my computer, like, or my input slowed down for a brief moment, and then suddenly they're back.
It's almost like it knows.
Well, more opening up the driver interface basically kind of refreshes the driver thing. Or like it's not running the driver itself when it first opens, and it's using Windows Tablet, and then opening up the driver uses the proper thing again.
Software design.
Makes sense.
Tablet drivers are always a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this is something I drew last night. She's adorable.
She is.
She really is.
I kind of just realized I made one eye smaller than the
I
other.
don't know what the song was about, but like,
Yeah.
it was a little esoteric for me. It didn't really make much sense. Yeah. I mean, I like abstract art as much as the next
Oh
guy.
god, I can't unsee this.
Jeez, man. Fucking find a point, maybe. Theme or something? Motifs?
There is popping.
Mhm.
Somebody.
Yeah. Salty, you got that in all the way?
Your mic is all the way plugged in.
Also, next Hero to Dents will be coming out in 2077, maybe.
Yeah. 2077, so look forward. You guys only got to wait about 50 more years. Shouldn't be long now. Thank you, Budizina, for the thingy, Muns. There it goes.
The financial contribution.
God, I fucking love Muscular Wonders. Excellent.
Muscular wonders. Also, I figured out the popping was actually me and my mic, so yes, sorry about that.
Yeah, try using Discord mutes and stuff.
Here we go.
Hello from Canada.
Hello, Ukrainian. Hello from America. Hellstick, the hell place. Specifically, the hell place of the hell place, because I'm in Arizona and it's really fucking hot here. Like, literally, we're on Satan's doorstep or armpit. Well, not really armpit, it's not sweaty. It's just
Yeah,
dry.
it's not as
Say-
humid.
Satan's
Texas is-
armpit would be Florida.
Florida or Texas.
I'd say Texas for multiple reasons.
Lord.
Both are pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Texas is the armpit, Florida is the crotch sweat.
I was gonna say Florida would probably be the crotch sweat.
Good Lord.
I mean, if you look at the peninsula, it kind of sounds like another word.
Amazing.
God.
Ooh, my chat is not showing up on stream, so let me enable that.
Oh.
Usually I gotta just close it and then...
There's so many little things that you just gotta keep track of.
Ending as hell. This is why I don't do it as a full-time thingy gamer. Anyway, today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drawing basically a Spellslinger, which is a subclass of Wizard. I'm currently porting it to 5e, but it does exist in Pathfinder. And it's a Wizard that uses an arcane gun that they have etched themselves, get it into a magic gun, and they use it to cast certain spells. And particularly, spells with area effects and rays can be cast through the gun. So anyway,
Nice.
sketch pen because I like the pen.
That's a no-no.
Please do not spam the chat. Specifically looking at you, Deborah. Going to pronounce your name Deborah. Instead of Deborah.
Oh boy.
Ouch!
That was about 3 times being timed out and they're just muted. So that was second time.
This my stuff, dummy! Oh no! It's about to get so amazing!
Would it really be a YouTube poop music video if it didn't have a Toho remix in somewhere?
It really wouldn't. That's what makes it a Toho poop. I mean,
No, music,
YouTube
YouTube poop.
I'm smart, I swear.
The Toho poop. Please do not poop on your Tohos.
I swear I'm smart.
Man, every time I hear YouTube poop, I still think like early 2000s.
Bombs?
Yes.
I specifically think of CS 188.
I had an experience not too long ago watching some from a guy I watched a lot of and really liked. And then with my newer knowledge, I was like, there's some uncomfortable things here.
Welcome, Hiro 22. Need to do it. Thumbnailing, by the way, is when you draw a super small drawing. Figure out what to do.
I've done that once.
Plan out what you want to do. Can't figure out what to do with his arm. Or arm.
I mean, you're supposed to be a gunslinger, isn't he? Or a spellslinger, so like... ready to reload or something. Ready to cast a spell.
Figuring out how to do his legs as well. I want him like stepping forward. But I keep doing like one leg comes out longer than the other. That. Like it looks like he's just kind of doing a weird squat man pose.
Now you listen here. Amazing.
But now,
God, I can't believe you've done this.
You received another donation.
I see.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
Yes, if you want to rickroll, give me money when you do it.
The only correct way to do it.
You're making it help a lot. Record, this wizard is wearing a cowboy hat.
Nice.
The moment you said that, there was one very specific theme song that played in my head.
Big iron on his hip.
Yep.
That'll be the ranger, actually.
The Lone Ranger.
Yes, that is the joke. Actually, I've changed the name to Desperado. They're going to be described as loners often. So, draw conclusions from that. There we go. Okay, if I make the leg straight, that looks so much better, because then it makes the bend in the other leg much more sensible. Put it a little further back. Because then it looks more like he's leaning back rather than taking a step forward.
Oh yeah.
So what should he be doing with his other hand? Should he be preparing a spell? His gun is definitely going to be glowing with magic stuff, so there will be magic indications.
I vote for spell.
drawing guns at this. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna draw a banana for the gun. It's gonna be a placeholder, but a banana is a little bit easier to draw than a revolver handle, and I can just change it to a revolver handle after I get the hand down. I am so smart.
Oh god, it's not a... This isn't gonna be a permanent thing. It can't make it like an alt. God, imagine that being an actual class. He just has different bananas, and everybody laughs at him because they think it's just a banana, and he's crazy, until the banana shoots a dinner plate-sized hole in the mook next to you, and you go, oh, well that's a thing now.
Or it shoots out like an actual banana internals, but once it hits something, it explodes.
Arguably better.
Yeah. That's like an actual thing in Ultimate. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
I have the banana gun. Okay, I'm actually just gonna draw a revolver at the side because holy shit, doing them at the side is so much. So, for this little homebrew thing that I'm working on, for anybody interested, actually a series of like gun rule overhauls as well for 5e. Main reason being is that the ones provided in the DMG are just obscenely much stronger than basically vanilla weaponry, and so it kind of skews the balance of the game when you start allowing for it. And the other problem that I run into is a lot of people, they're like, okay, so to make guns balance, we'll make them take like 5 actions to set up, and then they do a shit ton of damage. And it's like, okay, yeah, that might balance it for one encounter, that might balance it like in the middle of an encounter, but otherwise you're still giving a player like a huge amount of damage loaded up front, and it's still very exploitable. Why don't, like, they can just start grabbing a whole bunch of different weapons and stockpiling a bunch of guns, so that way they have a belt of guns that they just keep drawing and shooting with. And
so basically just go full pirate style then.
Yeah. The idea that I have is instead make the guns just side grades to normal weapons. Like, don't screw with the action economy significantly, because that's just exploitable. Don't make them target touch AC like Pathfinder did, because that just makes that's inconsistent with how they really were. Just make them different ranged weapons, basically. Unique properties. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, just a bow, but louder.
Yeah. Like, properties that I got so far. Let's see. So, like, a lot of guns, instead of having the loading property, they have the reload property, which is also from the DMG. And it requires an action or bonus action to reload. Player's choice. So that kind of prevents you from firing readily, but on the same note, a lot of weapons have ammunition capacity, so they can do multiple attacks before needing to be reloaded. Most of them have shorter range than bow weapons and stuff like that, and otherwise have comparable or maybe one damage die better, like instead of a D8, a D10. But the trade-off is that you're basically giving up a lot of range. Like, the big difference between a longbow and a short bow isn't just the damage dice, it's also short bows are much shorter range. Pathfinder actually kind of had an interesting option for this as well. Longbows are less accurate at closer range, like between 1 and 60 feet. Longbow is, or 1 and 20 feet, longbow is actually at a penalty, whereas shortbow doesn't have that. But shortbow has the disadvantage of shorter range. Those are some options.
Yeah.
I am going to make more PVO2 comics eventually. I am not going to do that probably this month. Probably once I get my contract work done, I will get back to that.
Quick question: is this supposed to be based on the Single Action Army?
This one specifically, yeah.
Good. This.
Hello,
Oh, it's me.
it's you.
Ah, it's a Gaia.
Yes, it is.
Right. Move my banana. Good from here.
Oh, so you're not moving entirely.
What I'm gonna do is do a 3D projection.
Oh.
Press E to extrude.
Speaking of press E to extrude, I need to start practicing again.
Can provide some pretty cool results. So probably worth it.
There we go. Now that revolver is decent. God, it was ugly.
Looks like it really revolves.
Okay,
Nurse, we need to perform an immediate
You
chest.
revolved the banana.
oh, this is hard.
His kidneys are
What? Banana is revolving! It's like the and then just the Pokemon Evolve music playing, but it's just done on a banjo or something.
Check it out.
Oh, now you can't do it.
Do my little dance in advance.
What's my jam? What's my move jam?
And what does that accomplish, huh? We're gonna have fun at the party tonight. Playing goddamn checkers.
What's my jam? What's my move jam?
And what does that accomplish? Nothing. Come on, baby. Give me lovin', come on.
Yeah, Glocks are super easy. Like, literally, I hate Glocks so much. But literally, they're just block, 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 block.
They're basically just boxes that accelerate lead.
Behold,
It's fucking checkers.
block.
What you think about the situation?
So you mean difference to the like two rectangles and a cylinder that fires a bullet?
Basically, there's no there's no cylinder in a block.
No, so I'm more referring to like a rifle or something, which is two rectangles and a cylinder.
Depends on the rifle. Like long rifle, it's more like
I'm gonna touch
shape.
you don't want. Then you can't sue me. You're gonna jump over my head, come on. If you do, you might be.
I mean, okay, think about an AR-15 or something. That's like those like three rectangles and a cylinder.
The
Nah,
AR-15
take something
has like a
like-
big box, small box for the foregrip, like the speed drawn.
Yeah, like take a Remington 700. I'll post a picture of that in voice chat just to show you. Like it's simple, but it still looks good. The Glock is simple and it doesn't look good. Like
And
the
there's, of
Glock
course,
is like,
there's also the 1911, which everybody loves.
nope.
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I don't
It's-
understand.
it's-
Like, really, 1911s are
that's the thing. Like, I love giving 1911 owners shit just because they get uppity about it, but like, it's not a bad gun, but it's not the best thing in the world either.
Just looks like a basic gun to me.
Sort of is. It's just sort of become iconic and something of a meme.
It's become iconic because it's been in service since like World War One.
Yep.
I do have a public server. There should be a link in the chat. If not, just say something and I will refresh the link.
Gotta poo about now.
Yeah, it's in the description.
It's fucking checkers.
Make sure that it works.
How would one of us do that?
No, you wouldn't. I'm talking to chat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't mind the appearance of the block at all. I think a Magnum looks better. I look at Magnum and it comes up with the fucking ice cream.
Yep, it'll do that. Magnum isn't a type of gun, it just means that the bullet's from like a smaller case, but they just make the case extra long to fit more powder in it to make lead go faster fied.
I was thinking of those kind of square Magnum things that I've seen in certain things.
thinking
Whenever I see a Magnum in a game or something, it always refers to this kind of rectangular
Yeah,
thing.
see,
That's sort of like a Glock, but better looking.
Yeah, see, people get a lot of their knowledge of guns from video games, and that kind of irritates me a little bit because there's a lot of liberties taken for one, balancing, and two, because the devs often have no idea how they work anyway, so they just kind of name, oh, well, this is a Magnum.
Hey, remember when Shadow the Hedgehog has an assault rifle that he loads and then pump action cocks?
Don't remind me, please.
I'm gonna fantasize in a little bit. I want there to be kind of
Just
So the
give
rings
it
are
some
gonna be.
scrimshaw, that's all you really need. There you go, it's a fancy magical gun because it has cool tactical engravings.
What?
What?
Okay. Don't you know.
gonna make this actually interesting thing about this gun. It's actually going to, the barrel is completely detached, like it's shooting through a hole. The bullet basically just kind of floats. So there's like a fore part of the gun that is basically completely detached from the aft part of the gun, and it just levitates. Yeah.
Alright.
Sounds pretty cool.
No sense.
Yeah, it's magic, ain't gotta explain shit.
They're all extra fat. By rule. Gun is the drill that will pierce the heavens.
Oh god.
Amazing.
I mean, I like that, so.
Wouldn't it be more of an impact ram or something?
I mean, I'll be honest, spiral designs are cool.
Have you heard of Uzumaki?
Well, time to look something up again.
Please do it on an empty stomach.
Is that if you would do it or if I would do it?
No, like, if you do decide to look this up, please make sure you have not eaten prior to it, if you are squeamish.
Oh, that thing.
It is a Junji Ito horror.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I've seen that.
Not all
whole
spirals
fear
are good.
The scary spirals. I need to read that actually. I've not done that yet.
And perspective can be a pain in the ass
Sometimes.
all the time.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I've done like a three-dimensional drawing, I've always like reverted to this exact same angle every single time. Well, and eventually that was drawing furniture, so it's sort of like drawing a gun. In some ways, it's just as blocky as it was just as blocky as this is. It's a little bit,
This is pretty detailed.
yeah. More detailed than my drawings, yeah. Oh, it's got a hook now.
What if gun magic was made out of bananas?
What if gun is just his banana?
Why does this gun remind me of spare rations?
What?
It's a Destiny 2. Never mind.
But now,
My brain, for better or for worse, always looks at guns and then tries to relate them to other things that actually exist, whether they do or not, and I just can't stop it.
So, do you mean spare rations is in actual rations? Or
No, it's the name of a gun from Destiny 2.
ah,
We're not all weeabooms like you.
You shut your shut.
that is a perfect name for it. Like I usually say gun nut, but that's better.
Yeah, you really messed up this time, Amalgam. Don't know what we're gonna do with you.
Looks like you have to perish.
also Salty, Shadow doesn't load an MP5. It's actually a fucking M4 that he loads. Even worse.
Hold up, it's an M4. I couldn't tell because the only time I've actually seen that is with like a literal thumbnail-sized GIF.
Yeah. Turns out that there actually is one gun in the world that actually would work that way, where it would be loaded via magazine and then it has a foregrip that is pumped and it is an assault rifle.
Is that a stoner by chance?
I do not know. I don't know the name of it.
I think that is actually the Stoner 63.
Something else that's funny, there is also a type of revolver that actually can accept a magazine and then feeds into a revolving cylinder and actually has like, or no, not that. There is one revolver that actually you can cock like a handgun and stuff, and whenever you cock it, it rotates the cylinder by one.
Wasn't that the Mateo Model 6 Unica, or is that something else?
So I've got the I've put the video in voice chat. The actual, it's at the exact pretty much start of the video that he has the gun.
I'm not clicking that. I choose life.
I remember I loved this intro when I was little.
Oh,
Yes, it was the Stoner 63. You can cock like a shotgun.
So There is an assault rifle you can go. Like a shotgun
Yep,
or
it's not quite an assault rifle. It's more of a belt-fed machine gun that has a bunch of different configurations to it. God, I love the Stoner 63.
something. It sounds like it was made by stoners.
It was made by Eugene Stoner, who is a legend. Lovely guy.
So I don't see how it cocks.
You see the thing at the front of it, just past the magazine, that looks like a pump on a shotgun? It actually is. That's used to
I mean,
cock
it's in the
it.
wrong place to be a pump on a shotgun, but yeah, close enough.
No, that's in the right spot.
Maybe it's just going up too high. Something, I don't know. Looks weird on
Why
that.
are you arguing with Salty about guns?
I don't know, maybe I could be right about a gun someday, I don't know.
Someday, but you need to have an unhealthy obsession with them and spend like 8 hours of every day reading about them excessively.
Lord.
Yeah, Sega definitely did not do that consciously. I can guarantee that.
Never. So you talk about people like being upset at people learning about guns through video games, which is honestly how I've done it. But
Like, it's not bad to take an interest from that. Like, if you learn a few things from it, good. But you shouldn't use that as your sole source of information. That's where I take issue with it.
God, this reminds me of in high school. Like, you'd have so many kids who basically thought they were so fucking smart and they knew so much about guns, and then it's all 100% Call of Duty knowledge. Like, I want to get an RPD because they're really big. Like, okay, bro.
Sure, take the
Well,
thing
when you
with
were
the
little, you were
drum
actually
that
obsessed with
jams like a motherfucker.
I love how you have this knowledge just on hand after hearing the these string of letters and numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to being me.
I'm being fucking weeaboom.
Welcome,
I can't
matron.
believe you've done this to me.
Like,
That
I
was
feel
my
like I
doing.
could put 2 letters and 2 numbers.
Thank you for
And then-
thank you for becoming a member, matron. Actually, I think you are back because I think you were already one before. Welcome back.
Oh. Hey, congrats on that job.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm still kind of neutral on guns.
I waver, I'll be honest.
They're cool, they're loud, they're fun to shoot.
Like,
Just
sometimes I'm like, they're neat. Yeah, they're alright. And other
Yes.
times I'm like, please get this away from me.
Just don't fucking listen to the NRA at all.
yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Yes, they really are. It's kind of like knife collecting. Like, you're fine to collect a bunch of these things and just use them for their intended purpose, which is just being glorified letter openers and just adult fidget spinners. Yes, I said that. Just please use them responsibly. That's all that I asked. Don't give the rest of us a bad name.
Why can't you just collect sane, careful things that can't potentially hurt people?
There's a bunch of flaws with that logic, but I'm not going to bother to point them all out. It all comes down to intent. And mine is just, ooh, shiny, ooh, craftsmanship, ooh, exotic
Well, that's not really what I'm
steals.
talking about. I'm more talking about like the larger. I'm more talking about the bigger picture and stuff. Like the thing the NRA argues for, they are very, hey, we're not going to even bother allowing you to discuss this topic, rather than trying to educate people about things. That's the issue I have with them. They've actually made it impossible to fucking discuss like gun laws and things like that.
I was just talking about me and my habit for collecting shiny, pointy things.
I honestly feel kind of left. I feel like it's weird for me to just kind of not collect anything.
It's really not. Collecting things is for people that have either too much time, too much money, or not a lot of either one, but they're running out of things to do with their life.
I mean, yeah, but you get some people who are just like, oh, you need to find a hobby, you need to go collect, you need to start collecting stuff, and I'm just like, why?
Well, no, see, here's the thing. Even though I collect, like, a shit ton of knives, I still actually use every single one. Like, I have them on a rotation so that they're not sitting there as safe queens. I can't stand that. I need to buy something that I'm gonna use.
Yeah.
Also, Amalgam, it's funny you should mention that. There are people that do collect bullets and nothing but bullets.
To be honest, collecting bullets can be kind of interesting, considering how, like, they can be, like, very different size and, like, certain experimental rounds.
Wildcat rounds are a very fun thing to get into.
See, like,
Anybody
collecting bullets
neck
is...
down.
Sorry. I was going to say, collecting bullets, I guess that's very similar to collecting coins in that they go... These definitely go through certain rotations and they become much, much rarer over time. And they're much smaller and something you could actually fit in a box. Unlike...
Sort of.
I don't think trading bullets happens all that much.
You'd be surprised.
Everything has a label and everything has like certain... Like, everything always has this kind of code or some kind of thing on it that indicates when it was made or what kind of batch it was made in and stuff like that, I imagine.
It's kind of like Rule 34, but for trading stuff. Like, even if you're not aware of it, there's probably a market for it. For better or for worse.
Okay, I just had this weird idea that, like, someone had this obsession with, like, collecting digital art or something. Just like, oh yes, this was made by Channel during 2014 on the, I don't know, the anniversary, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, that's basically what I do, and to an extent, that's also kind of what most of us do here.
I mean, yeah, I sort of like, I'm more thinking like the sort of weight of a wine collector, rather than just someone who just grabs something, saves it, and looks at it later for certain reasons.
My dude, you have just described an art gallery.
I know, like that's basically what real life art galleries. I'm thinking like basically having one of those digital, like what's the, like a museum of digital art or something.
Dude's got his barbecue boots on.
Barbecue boots.
Barbecue boots, what?
Going down to the land of sausage. I got my barbecue shoes on.
Oh my.
Got apple bottom jeans, boots with the jeans.
Apple bottom jeans, boots with the jeans. Whole club looking at jeans.
You hit the jeans, anything in your jeans, you gotta go jeans.
Hey guys, guess what? This is actually a Warforged.
Nice.
I'm not sure how that makes me feel.
I sort of assumed it was going to be
Gun Wizard Robot.
The big iron is his hip.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw you drawing it, I kind of assumed it was going to be a robot from the beginning.
Yeah. I think I did it when I saw the hand, and I was like, oh, that's a robot hand.
I mean, that's also how I just kind of like sketch out hands.
Fair enough.
You know, thinking about it, I'm pretty going on the sort of previous subject. I feel like there might actually be somewhere in the world, well, multiple places in the world, that literally are just museums for digital loot. Like, there's got to be at least one of them.
I mean, there's archives of like the whole internet.
Yeah, but I mean like a physical museum, though.
Oh, I mean, you gotta understand, all the data has to be stored somewhere.
Yeah, a server is also considerably less expensive than an entire building.
Yeah, I know. It's... No idea. It's like it's a museum dedicated to different artists on the internet, and it's just sort of like each one has its own section, like you would for things. But it's sort of like you scroll through it on like a machine thing or something.
Maybe.
And like some weird person has actually managed to document the story behind every single pic, even if there was no story at all, and just makes it up.
Oh my god, does that have marbled carbon fiber inlay?
Wood?
Oh god, I'm gonna post this in chat because I want this. Well, I've wanted it, but I've never actually seen like a good close-up picture of it before. This is just... Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Let's see this.
It's
Here we go.
gorgeous. Oh my god, I want one.
Oh, nice.
It's a knife.
$260 and does it ship to Leafland? It does.
It ships to Weedland?
It ships to Leafland.
Unrelated, apparently today in Animal Crossing there's the bug off, and that makes me kind of upset. Why is it today?
Oh yeah, that was today.
Crossing has become so tedious to keep up with.
I do love the game, but I do kind of feel like as you go on, it gets more and more like the most tedious parts of every other Animal Crossing game.
Yeah. It's frustrating because there's so many quality of life improvements to the game, and yet there's so many things that are implemented that are just like, hey, these are the most frustrating aspects of the game series as a whole, and we've decided to put them all in one game.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, have they put in the best parts of other games as well, though?
Not really.
A lot of
Okay.
the best parts were kind of part of the themes of each of the games. And unfortunately, with New Horizons, your progression is essentially removing the theme of New Horizons.
No.
You can get just another Animal Crossing game. Any other.
Yeah.
But it's like... They had like one game and stuff where it was like really easy to customize your town, buildings and the stuff like that, and the houses, and they moved that. Like you can't move buildings around. Tear them down and then rebuild them, and you can't move them a few inches to the left or whatnot. You have to like move them to another place entirely, and then you can rebuild them.
Hmm. I'm still mostly just bugged how it's like, here, have this relaxing abandoned island. Now make it into a developed little town. oh, you're enjoying this nice, peaceful music that plays all day? Let's replace it with another Animal Crossing soundtrack.
This is why I usually mute the game soundtracks for most games unless it's really good, and I play my own music.
That's not really a
I know it's not. I like my own music most of the time.
Is it just me, or did the sound settings where you could effects and sound effects and music volume and all that just disappear from console games?
good.
I don't play console games, so I can't really say.
Wow, that is very upset.
You ever have it where someone tells a pun and it is actually just so bad that you actually can't respond to it? Because that's just what happens with me. Someone has somehow managed to make a pun that even I think is so bad that I can't respond to it.
Yes,
that's
Gaia.
fucking
That's
constant.
happened to me multiple times. Gaia.
Yes, I know. I've experienced that. How do you get worse than me?
There was a friend of mine who would make less than puns constantly, and my responses just got aggressively more disapproving to the point where I just straight up said stop. Except that had to keep going on for a month before it stopped.
I got one friend whose entire shtick is making puns. Currently playing Agents of Edgewatch, and he's introduced a custom NPC that is a Shoni, which is a race of dog people, and he's the head of the guard, basically. And he has these little chew sticks that are kind of like cigars, except they're for dog people. And his name is McGruff. And he's very scruffy looking. He's there to take a bite out of crime.
Yep.
Yes.
It's like everybody fucking saw that coming.
Excuse me while I go swim with a live toaster. Puns there's maybe one in a million that are actually good, but most of them just make me want to punch the person.
Oh, I actually plan to make a centaur character sometime. A cleric, and they're going to focus on healing and disease so they can be the centaur for disease control.
Yep, I love it.
Dude, that
Never
one's good.
speak to me again, ever.
You know that one's funny.
Yeah, it's good.
I like the ones that people do things with.
Yeah, I just make jokes that make fun of stuff, usually. For better or worse. Usually worse. They're usually bad jokes, but they entertain me at least. And I hope that the other person's entertained, even if they are acting even if they say that they want to beat me to death and string up my organs. But yeah.
Lord. I don't know if McGruff the Crown Dog was an actual show. I just know that it's a thing that exists.
Drawing sometimes.
Mood.
Mood. Oh my god, what is that? It's hideous.
You say titties?
Yeah,
It isn't hideous.
it's
Which is the opposite of titties. But sounds surprisingly similar now you think about it.
okay. I'm so sorry that you have to see this, but this is apparently a thing you can get for these extremely nicely made knives that I'm looking at, and Why would I want to have the weird crossbreed between beaver barf and whatever tar pit this crawled out of?
What the hell? Even I'm like,
Exactly. Who would put one of those on a zero tolerance? That offends me to my very core.
I made the joke about like that weird knife covering with that one married picture that I colored in, and even then, that was like designed to be ugly, and that's uglier.
That looks like dirty pond water.
Thank you.
With it, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen sweets that look like that, and none of them were appealing. Like, I made this. Just. We're not gonna color it
I'm
in
sorry.
this
Does she have like one of those silicone knife guards over her chest, Spike?
Yes.
That is beautiful. Zed,
Yeah.
please make that canon.
Have you ever drawn manga before? Plenty of times. I've done a few comics myself. Most of them have been hentai. For those wondering if I draw hentai, I do. I draw a lot of hentai. Holy shit, you have no fucking idea how.
You have not seen the amount of ties that are being worn here.
I mean, unless you like Patreon, follow my other Twitter. So I hope you're not doing that if you're underage, because if you are, I will block you.
You'll have to
I don't
prepare
want
to be
minors
eviscerated.
following my stuff, because they're really fucking annoying, and also they're a liability, and also no. Disturbing.
Multiple kinds of no.
I still have that hentai thing that I could save. So.
I love that picture still.
Yeah. And I'm gonna actually share it in chat for people who haven't seen it. Because I feel like there's some.
So a bard summoner that summons increasingly more powerful people by playing even more metal songs. That's incredible. I love that idea.
Have a song. Here's some Gladius.
Yes, good.
The Gladius's theme from Generations is fucking awesome. I don't know how it sounds in World.
It's the same in World.
Fair enough. It's good song to
So
be
they did
used, really.
remaster it.
Hmm.
Thanks, sir.
Honestly, the fate. I think what is it called? The Fateful Four or something like that.
Fated 4.
What are they called? Fated Four. That's it. All the music that was used for them was actually just awesome. Really, they put a lot of effort into the music of each of them. At least from what I can tell, like the electric. No, that's. Okay, I'll be honest. I can't remember most of their names, but
Lavinus, Astalos, Gameth, Mizitsune.
ah yeah, Astalos. It's funny because the Astalos is the one I killed the most because I wanted to get the armor for my gunner because I thought the gunner armor for that thing looks awesome. It was also pretty effective. I also used the Mitsutsun thing and just ran around as a guy with a katana, wearing just as some shit.
Katana.
I was fine. I was using a long sword, but it was a very unstyled, like a Japanese katana.
Just give him a sax.
What, you're gonna play some nice music for the monsters?
No, not a saxophone. Like
Jazz for your soul! Jazz for your soul!
I hate you both. A sax. It's a type of sword.
I know.
SEAX.
I could tell from the context.
Or a knife, but you can make a sword out of one.
Wouldn't that be pronounced as sakes?
No, it's pronounced sax.
Pronounced sex. I would like to buy big cock for madame. I'm coming.
I'm sorry, I'm not really offering commissions right now.
Big. That's the sakes. I'm gonna pronounce it. Well, thanks. That's a something unique weapon. It's like the point between a. It looks like a knife, but in some cases it seems to be the same length as a short sword.
I'm going to call it a show.
Yeah, that might work. That might work too. I'm pretty sure. Are you sure it's pronounced a sax?
Pretty sure Salty would know what it's pronounced.
Yeah.
If you say it seeks, I'm going to slap you.
Well, I didn't say seeks. I said like.
I know, I am just giving you fair warning. I will find a way to slap you through IP.
Seax.
The shucks.
I'm gonna DM this one image to you to explain exactly what's going to happen.
Oh boy, time for the Navy SEALs copy.
Yes, here's the GIF again. Yes.
I sent him this GIF. Hang on.
The classic, the one that's.
The one that I
Also-
made myself because I was not satisfied with the weird, awkward smoke heart that the original GIF had, nor how plain everybody looks. So I made my own warden beat the crap out of, well, Larry.
Poor Larry.
Complete with blood, because the heart smoke just made it kind of awkward. Kind of?
I should learn how to make GIFs.
Alright, I think I got the line art on this thing mostly done.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty badass.
Feeling wonky, punk.
I do love those outfits, those kind of outfits, honestly. I will not lie, those are awesome.
Duster.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah. I'm honestly just a big fan of like long coats and stuff like that, or whatever you'd call that kind of thing. Like, yeah, I guess it is a trench coat, but it's like sort of short. It's a bit of a lighter trench coat. Like a trench coat is usually like kind of heavier than that, I guess.
Damn it! Where is my inspiration?
I wanna be a cowboy, baby.
I wanna be a cowboy, baby.
God, if I only had someone to believe in me.
Also the kind of highwayman outfit too, somewhat as well. The one you sort of typically imagine for highwayman, like the kind of
A Corsair's outfit.
no, it's kind of like a different thing. That's the actual way they dress, but I'm talking about like the kind of I guess romanticized version of them.
Yeah,
Talking
it's
about
called a
pirates?
Corsair outfit. It's just this with the tricorn hat that looks a little bit more rugged, and you have like 50 million belts all over it that have guns in them.
Hmm.
Look, of course, I need to get a whole bunch of. I don't want the hardware.
You just look up Corsair outfit, I guess.
Yeah. I go to look up an outfit for pirates, and I get gaming keyboards.
I wonder if they have merch that you can make an outfit out of.
I
so-
wouldn't be surprised if you could.
Okay, so in looking up this Corsair outfits, I found this, and I'm immediately interested.
Yeah, that's basically it. Just make it look a little bit more grungy. Add like 30 more belts with holsters and guns in them. A tricorn hat, maybe a feather, and there you go. Pirate.
I do like tricorn hats, I will not lie.
Yar har fiddly dee.
Do what you
the
want,
smaller
cause a
ones
pirate
than the
is free.
Smaller ones than the typical pirate ones.
No, wait,
I'll admit
I
that.
fucked that up.
Yes, you did.
That comes next.
Do what you want because the pirate is free. You are the pirate.
I don't know, I'm perpetually poo brain lately.
Transferred it to you, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something wrong with me lately or if it's just that time of the year, but God, this last like month or two, I've been in this kind of mental fog. And I'm screwing up basic shit like that. I can't even meme right anymore.
It be like that sometimes.
It really do.
Especially when all the shit's going down. Anyway,
I think that kind of plays into it.
yeah.
Oh, so on another note, one thing I've been kind of taking a look at recently has been like alternate lore and stuff, like homebrew lore and stuff for races and stuff, and how it might differ from like Faerun. There are some things that I plan to use eventually in the game somewhere, and they're little lore pieces that I really like that I came up with. So like, for instance, first one, I want to do something kind of, I really like the lizard folk in Divinity. So like, one idea is make the lizard folk, instead of being emotionless and completely devoid of emotion, make them basically the remnants of a civilization that essentially got wiped out. And they're very egotistical, almost kind of like dragons themselves. So that would be kind of, I think that would be kind of an interesting take on it. Another option, fired from WoW, make orcs outsiders, and they originally came to the material plane under the control of a demon lord, and they basically became their own civilization when they were rebelled up against that demon lord and killed him, thereby turning the tide of the fight. And then they defected to the other races, or tried to, though not all races accepted them because, while they were under control, they killed a lot of people. And so, like, they were responsible for the lizard folk dying out. And so the lizard folk don't like them, no matter what.
Sounds awfully familiar.
It's basically what happened in WoW.
Yeah, I was trying not to say
I
that,
literally
but-
said,
I mean, you did say
basically
that.
take it from WoW.
He's gonna say he was doing that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's good.
Yeah, honestly, World of Warcraft has my favorite lore for orcs out of any piece of media. I think Warcraft orcs are the most nuanced. And it kind of makes things interesting, because it's like, oh hey, yeah, these orcs, some of them, they went down the route of raiding and stuff. Some of them feel a lot of heavy guilt over everything that happened because they have memories of killing people and, like, killing women and children and things like that. But I think it's cool. And then, let's see, what else have I got? Oh, Dragonborn. Okay, I really like the Dragonborn idea here. The idea behind them is that when the demons first attacked and the orcs came through, I'm going to turn this music down a little. When the demons first attacked and the orcs first came through, one of the gods, in order to fight them, decided to make his own race of soldiers. So he made the Dragonborn, who were very capable fighters and things like that, to contest the orcs. Because he didn't want them to stick around for too long and become a threat or an issue, he made them so they were all infertile. However, after the war, they still tried to reproduce. Normally what would happen would be they would give birth to sexless drakes, so they would eventually drive out. Drake population would spike briefly and then it would go down again. However, 1 out of every 5 eggs and drakes started actually walking upright and talking, and actually evolved into a full-fledged Dragonborn. And so as a result, you have these weird family dynamics where 4 of your kids are basically dogs, slightly smarter than dogs, and then you have 1 kid that actually is sentient and will basically carry on your family name. And so as a result, like Dragonborn, when they form couples and stuff, they'll often remove themselves more from society just because they don't want the apex predators to be a liability that they have to care for.
God, imagine the family get-togethers.
Exactly.
Just like one of them, just like is like, all right, Steve, can you pass the salt?
But
Not even that. It's more like, Harold, can you please get little Jimmy there to stop chewing on our other dog?
but what's
I mean, son.
some interesting things about this is selling Drake. Oftentimes, some wizards, some evil wizards particularly, will like to collect drakes to experiment on them or turn them into like attack animals. So there's a lot of laws in a lot of nations where it varies. For some people, selling drakes counts as selling slaves. For others, it counts as selling livestock. For Dragonborn, it's almost always taboo, but some will do it anyway, especially like mercenaries who will actually train their siblings or kin to be attack animals, and then use them as basically attack dogs.
That's dark.
Yes.
I like it.
Just not that far off from some reason. I mean, I'm pretty sure people have done that in history before, but yeah. So it's not that out of realm possibility anyway, so. Yeah, it's cool.
40k works, honestly, like, I really do not like 40k, but I like the 40k orcs. I think they are very fun.
They're hilarious, I'll be honest.
They're like the second best part of 40k.
I would say they're the first best.
Well, yes, but making fun of the Imperium is the best.
Fair. Grass Wolf.
Oh, nice. Like, I've never played it before, okay, and I probably won't really ever take that much of interest in it, even if I like even with Emperor's Text-to-Speech, I'm not really very interested in the lore.
Yeah, see, 40k is kind of like Toho in that only a very small portion of the fans actually do play the games, if any. But I think a roughly a similar size portion of the fan base, maybe not the same in terms of Venn diagram overlap, have also read all the lore. You don't need to understand that or play it all to be part of the fandom. It just kind of helps to know things.
Well, the thing is, 40k is a tabletop game, isn't it?
Yep.
It's
So
not
it means
a.
that-
The thing is, it's not an RPG strategy game.
Yeah. So even in playing the game, you could still have no idea what the lore is. Can you?
But what's some other lore that's that? Oh yeah, idea for the Drow, because the Drow often have been kind of criticized. Whether or not you think it's an issue, I'm going to say this. There is definitely a problem with saying, oh yeah, this group of elves turned black because they are evil. When you just kind of put it like that, it's like, oh, oof. So, here's basically a small tweak that I kind of have for that.
I thought it was because they lived underground for so long that they didn't really have any need
not it.
for extra.
They turned black because that was the mark of Lolth. So here's what my idea is for it. Lolth originally tried to lead a coup against the rest of the Elvish Pantheon, and her followers basically got locked into a civil war. They were driven to the Underdark and had to retreat. By being the children of Lolth, they did get a birthmark, but it's not like their skin color, it's actually they got these weird markings under their eyes. Kind of looks like tears almost. But I think that making the birthmark something different other than skin color is a good way around that. As a result of living underground, however, the elves basically, because they are more emotionally adaptive and they're more Fey-like, they adapt differently than other creatures would physiologically. Normally living underground will make you albino, or super pale, because they're very sensitive to light. For elves, because it's very dark down there, their bodies kind of change to reflect that, and they just basically desaturate. That's how you get the dark skin, you get... It would basically make it so Drow aren't strictly black, but they are all shades of gray. Kind of like the Dunmer in Elder Scrolls. Then
So they're more ashy.
Yeah, ash-colored skin and stuff, and it can vary between white all the way down to black. Then this is where I kind of interject my own thing. One of Lilith's daughters basically tried to lead a coup against her as well, because she blames her for the situation that the Drow have been in. As a result, there's basically this schism in the Drow society where there's actually a bunch of fringe cities that are, like, not part of Central City. They are actually more open to alliances and they're more open to talking to others, but they've been kind of locked in this civil war for like 200 years and nobody's really knowing about it because it's underground. But they would be more like, but like, well, it would probably still be a matriarchal society. The other cities and stuff would be a lot more open to outsiders and stuff, and they wouldn't have the same tendency as Central City. Because they believe that, oh hey, we need to actually like value other races and like that and helpful things. I think that's an interesting way to go. Because that makes it a little bit more diverse rather than, oh, all Drow are evil. I think that's everything I got so far. I got the Lizard Folk, the Dragonborn, the Drow. So yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Thursday this week. It's like, wait, so there's all this shit you guys have done, including but not limited to trusting everything to a god of deceit.
a bunch of random little squiggly lines, vertical lines. Now I'm going to add the other parts of them. Then I'm just going to kind of randomly connect them. Here. That's how I make my rune.
The best way about going around making runes is to make them chaotic and to not make much sense. So, because it looks better that way, strangely enough.
I just take Old Norse runes and then just kind of mash the keyboard, and then hey, it's a thing, and then I free transform the result.
Yeah, I've done that. It's just
Worked
for
for
this.
me in the past.
For this, I specifically want to kind of go. Doing it in a ring like this is a little bit more difficult. That doesn't work.
Runes look cool though. These runes, I mean.
Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate that, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. You guys can now actually see everything that I'm doing. Do this, and go to add glow. Ooh, glowy. Spicy.
Time to go back to the early 2010s and just put bloom on everything.
I actually don't know how to do that in this thing. I'll need to learn how to do that at some point.
I remember playing a bunch of games from that era. It's just, you know what? Let's just turn the brightness of the entire environment down, turn up the highlights up, have everything just bathed in bloom, and everything must be Tron lines and neon.
Yeah, it seems legit.
There, Spellslinger.
Magic bullets. Yeah, that looks cool.
Ace of Spades intensifies. It's gotta have the blue smoke from the tip too.
Wait, did Ace of Spades have magic in it?
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of different games.
I'm thinking of Cade's pistol from Destiny 2 and Destiny 1, where it's a revolver that after you pop somebody in the face with it, you reload, and then you got extra bullets with more damage, and the whole thing glows blue, and you have like the most badass reload ever.
Yeah, that sounds much cooler than what I was thinking of.
I mean, you pop the cylinder out, you do this fancy little gun twirl, all the bullets come out of it, and you slap more rounds in the top, all in one motion. Like, I gotta find a video of this, because it's pretty cool looking. God, that's actually a... It's actually a Google search result, wow.
Ye and dare I say, ha.
And I can't stress this enough. Ha! Is it that different to the other pistol reloads in the game?
It's the only revolver that reloads like that.
Yeah, I guess it's got a bit of an extra spin in it, yeah.
Yep, in true Cade fashion, he just has to be extra.
You're not even playing as Cade, you just sort of channel his energy into the fucking reload.
Yeah, true enough.
Just pretending to be him because you have his pistol and you're just like, oh, I gotta be like Cade or I be like this.
We play this song because it's good.
Yes.
So I don't know if you guys saw the I posted a little ago and shit posting, which it requires some prior knowledge, but I assume we all have seen the meme anyway. I was putting voice chats because it entertains me more than it probably should.
I feel like I just saw that not too long ago.
I did because I put it in shit posting.
know what? I'm gonna buy that DLC because I actually do enjoy this game.
Kind of funny. Kind of funny when people like talk about not being able to do a cowboy accent because it's like, in from Arizona, you can just pick it up.
You're from Arizona, though. That just comes naturally to you.
I know.
To the rest of us, we actually have to try.
Listen, it's not that hard. All you gotta do is kind of just drop your voice down low. Kind of go like, yeah. Kind of go, yeehaw.
I say when I come down to this town.
Oh, that's not how you do it. You gotta kind of go. You gotta kind of cut some of your words off. Stuff like that.
I ain't gonna ain't gonna do that shit.
What in tarnation?
Ain't gonna do that crap.
Ain't gonna do it on name.
We're a long way from Texas.
It's like, oh, you get a toothpick.
Raven, actually, the original Norse myth for dark elves and stuff actually kind of interesting. Like, I could totally see that as like make dark elves like one of the, like a progenitor race of elves, kind of like an ancestral race. And the reason why they're dark is because they have been blackened a bit by working in the forges, but they're like a divine race essentially. That being an interesting and fun interpretation.
Sorry, I got distracted there. Sorry.
Never be good.
Oh god, I'm fun!
Can't
And
believe
then
Matt
there
is
were
dead.
3.
I hope that was funny.
Can't believe Matt is a ghost now.
I can't believe Gaia's fucking dead. Also, after this, I am going to be playing Remnant from the Ashes. I have not played this game in quite literally a year and a half. Like, or no, it's been almost exactly a year, actually. I don't know where I got the half from. But it released... and I only played for a little bit. Yeah, almost exactly a year ago. I've been following it for a year and a half, apparently. But yeah, so I played this for a little bit. I maxed out my character like 40 hours into it, and then I never touched it again. And now it's apparently got 2 new expansions, and I'm going to play the heck out of this.
I'm not surprised you're into it, because it's basically Dark Souls with guns.
That's what it's been compared to. It's Dark Souls with guns, but if you take away the comparison to every other game out there, it stands very well on its own as just a unique game.
Yes.
I mean, it has that one fight that is basically just like, that is butterflies over the thing shooting stuff at you.
Okay, yes, there is a point where you do have to face this... She's almost unfair boss. That's just a very pretty butterfly with spikes and armor and a scythe, and just, oh my god, that was the most frustrating fight I've ever had.
It's like, oh, it's all pretty. It's like, oh god, it's got a scythe!
Yeah, like, it took me forever to realize, oh, you can just skip the entire last half of the boss fight by dropping half the roof on her.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a thing you can do.
I've finished drawing Gun Wizard. Now I'm gonna draw Mary.
Hey!
This makes me a happy cupcake.
Makes me a happy person.
Ew.
Not a person, don't lie.
Oh god.
Wow.
We know that you're an enigma.
Wrapped up inside a riddle.
Are you trying to say that non-humans are not persons?
By definition, sort of.
I mean, depending on where you're at, sometimes you'll get a ballot for your cat. Maybe.
Excuse me, what? That's a thing?
Yeah, there's been
What's
a
the
few.
difference?
There's been a few isolated issues of like individuals getting ballots for pets, for mail-in ballots.
So you telling me that one story about the guy's horse who voted is actually potentially true?
Could be.
Oh my god. That's...
The thing is that it's done by error.
Okay, so it's not a regular thing then.
No. But like in California,
Oh.
for instance, in some cities you have to register pets. So sometimes the don't know why. Ballot for their pet.
Amazing. I was talking about personhood though, not citizenship.
Look at her. She's so fucking...
Yes.
She's adorable. She is precious. She is...
busty.
Yes.
I can say it.
I was going to say slightly dim, but that works too.
She really moves.
Actually, put a caption of go in line with that. Gonna
Does
be
she
another
really?
captioned image.
All of her sharpness went to her chest spike.
I mean, you're not wrong.
The only thing sharp about her.
Does she have a good fashion sense?
Very. So she's kind of a little gullible in what fashion.
I don't think I've seen her wear anything other than the Gardevoir outfit.
I've drawn her in a Merit outfit.
Oh yeah. And a few things like that, yeah.
You know. Let's see this.
Probably should have drawn the form before, like, polishing up the torso. Her, I'm gonna feel bad if I...
Just don't make errors. I mean, it's not that
Ah,
hard.
yes.
Jeez.
Just don't make mistakes.
Could do the rest of it on another layer.
No, even if it's on another layer and stuff, if I do something grievously wrong, I'm gonna have to still redraw it.
Oh.
Well, we can tell by what you decided to polish up first what's important in this pick.
I mean, it's always the most important part. Of it. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's,
to
it's,
you.
it's important. Yeah, I like it. It's important to me.
We're all entitled to bad opinions.
Shoulders up and waist down. Yes.
Hey, the middle's good too.
True. The tum is also very nice.
Top half, best half.
Do you hear that? The sound of heresy.
Look, face, loads of features, certain other important features. Well, there's a lot of stuff that's good.
But listen, have you ever just taken a nap and just your head's in a lap? It's the best thing.
Do you think I've had that?
I am in no position to answer that. There's another piece of kill chip. Yep, yes I did.
There we go. Isn't that a cute caption?
I can't see it.
Sorry.
The fucking space between the F and the O for a second there.
Ah, yes. That works.
Head empty, heart full.
Wholesome.
She's not the brightest bulb in the batch, but she is the biggest. Good night, Miko.
Yeah.
I think I should slightly adjust as well. A little bit more. A little bit further. Already kind of done. Got the little cocktail dress style shirt.
Wait, it's done. God, why does this always hang at 99%? Steam, just download the thing, please.
Because it's installing still. It's downloaded, it's just not installing.
Oh, no, like, disk usage is 0, download is 0, it's not done, it's just stuck at 99%.
I feel like everything does that.
Yeah, it's just not just.
Yeah, I know it's with everything, but with Steam specifically, with me, it just decides to hang at the very last percentage, and I can open up Task Manager right now, and disk usage is sitting at 2%. And it's not even Steam. It's Firefox, of all things.
It might be some processing it's doing.
I just want to play Remnant. I just want to run around in like 120 pounds of armor and just fall downstairs repeatedly. Because that's a thing you can do, and it doesn't damage you. It damages everything you hit along the way.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Mary knows cut.
She not by choice.
You know, or Grassblade, maybe, at base.
And Gardevoir can learn Leaf Blade.
I know Gallade can.
Yeah, that's it. She's just like particularly into whatever. Something I thought before that gets a bit weird. Not weird, but like I don't know, it's going off on a tangent. I wonder if I had a tangent talking about how I was going to go off on a tangent.
It'd be like that sometimes. So if you're taking Marie on a Pokemon adventure and you need to cut down a tree, you send her out to the tree and then have her turn around. And in the process, she cuts the tree down.
I've come up with a funnier solution. Just use her like an axe.
Oh god. I can already see this. You just pick her up by the legs and just swing her and just hack away at the tree.
I'm imagining her doing the Aqua Fist while this is happening.
That, or she's perfectly okay with it, just going, this is fine. But yeah, the Aqua Face would be more fitting and a lot funnier.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she would do.
Better hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
It's super effective. She's the wrong shape for a lance. She's more like... No, she'd be a great ex.
She's a really elaborate nail bat.
It's just this meme.
A nail bat with like a single nail. Yeah, that's basically exactly the meme that I'm thinking of.
I love this meme. It's so simple.
That is basically my characters across multiple mediums and franchising and games. If I can do it, I will do it.
I've played one character who's actually done that before.
Gonna beat this motherfucker with another motherfucker.
Actually, wait, hang on. I think Holden actually did that in Nee's one shot. I picked up a dude and just yeeted him at somebody else and just took them both out. That was a mook and not somebody major, because that would have been funny. Actually, you know what? For one of these big boss encounters, could we like take 2 of the bodies from like the previous room that we just like utterly destroyed, drag them in with us, and then just throw them first into the room and then make our entrance? Maybe we'll just have Sichi doing it. She'll just have like at like somebody's head that she's like eating like an apple and just casually tosses it into the room. Like, hey, what's up? I need to do this now.
Air does it and somehow triggers the Grand Facility's self-destruct feature.
Oh god, please do not. Do not do the do. And if you do, don't.
Remember, if you ever think of doing, don't.
It is now illegal. If you were thinking of doing, don't.
Don't. Intimidation bonus of a screaming war pick. Oh god. That's actually brilliant. What about a sword that is just blunt as heck and actually deals bludgeoning damage, and it deals bonus psychic or sonic damage because it never stops screaming at its target?
I feel like you could make a really loud clanging mace or something.
But then it's not screaming.
That would have the same effect.
But it's not screaming. Like, what is screaming sword? That's about as sharp as a bowling ball.
That's a club.
No, it's a sword that's as sharp as a bowling ball.
That is a club.
I don't like either one of you right now.
You say that a
Maybe
lot,
that's because
and you
we
still
have-
hang out with us.
This is true. I'm also a sadomasochist, so it all just works out in the end.
Like, so something hangs with me for any amount of time, he's got to hate himself somewhat.
Okay, edgelord.
No, I'm not serious.
Fighter applies to all objects found in the bar fight. Bodies would work. Would bodies work in a bar fight as an improvised weapon?
That's the thing is, they are an improvised weapon, yes.
Oh!
Only if you can actually wield them.
Yeah, you need to be strong enough.
Okay, if you're a bar fighter, I would assume you'd be able to.
Question:
Unless
are
you're
you
like-
able to lift somebody up and fling them around?
Actually, in person, yes. I actually do. I have had to do that for a part of my testing.
Testing for
Dan.
what?
4th Dan black belt.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, that's a thing you kind of have to do. You can't just, bullshit your way to the top. You actually have to have the physical capability to go all the way to the top. I had to stop only because university got in the way. But yes, I do have experience with flinging a motherfucker at another motherfucker. A considerable distance, actually. Of course, there's really no practical application to that. It's mostly just showing off.
Intimidation.
Did it.
I'm like, oh my god, he actually did it. Absolute mad lad.
Well, the lads will sit on the floor, and he fucking did. Absolute fucking mad lad.
I still love that meme format. It's just British boys doing mundane things, but it's the best thing ever.
Told him to start sweeping and he started sweeping. Fucking crazy, bruh.
We said bruv, actually, if it was a British guy.
I would just call you a wanker.
Fucking crazy, cunt.
You call me. You gonna call me a wanker? You swear on my mum? Swear on my mum, I'll beat you. I'll give you.
Your mum's a
right knock.
wanker.
Your mom comes up. What you call me here for, son? Go be a wanker. Well, are you a wanker? I mean, you're a fucking wanker, son. I'm disowning you.
Wow.
The sad thing is, I could actually see this happening. I have another British friend whose mom is just like that. She has the weirdest sense of humor.
Doesn't really have a sense of humor, I'll be honest.
I feel like when somebody's mom does a better job of doing memes than he does.
Also, Salty, you're not allowed to have other British friends, it's only me.
No, I have like 4 other ones.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's a joke, man.
And also an Aussie guy who claims to still be British, but I highly, highly doubt that.
It depends if they've thrown a boomerang once. If they throw a boomerang if they throw a boomerang more times than they've drunk tea, they're officially in Australia.
I mean, he does drink a lot of tea, but he has also eaten several ostrich or emu eggs for breakfast. He's on this weird middle ground. He's on the cusp of being either British or Australian. But every time he convinces me he's going to go like cement himself into one camp, he does this thing that makes him go back onto the fence. And he's weird. He's weird like that.
Can't decide. Can't decide between British and Australian, you just become a Kiwi.
I mean, you're not wrong. Although I'm not quite sure what New Zealand has to do with this.
I don't know, I'm trying to think of some kind of joke and I don't really have one.
Brit-Australian. I don't like that word. Remove that word.
Okay, I'm trying to think of an accent to do with that. Crocky, governor!
I'm gonna go swim with a toaster now.
You've been saying that a lot.
Well, here's the thing. I've been making the appointments, but the toaster never shows up.
Wow. Crocky, governor is one of the weirdest phrases I've ever said. It's not, actually. It's definitely not. I've said way weird.
Yeah.
This is specifically just to trigger you in some cases.
I swear, like, half the stuff you do is just to bother me specifically.
There's rather anyone who hears it and would suffer from hearing this weird meme.
And I do stuff to bother you specifically.
You've done that to me as well.
Yes.
Yep. God, you know I have problems when I read ack as short stack. I'm gonna go sit in my corner now.
I think I remember I had something like that. I can't remember what it was. But like I was just like, oh, I immediately read that as this, and there's a certain amount of revealing about my personality that was something like that. Like, I can't remember what it was. And I don't know if it was who you are or not.
Oh, whoa, why is my... Hello?
Yes, hello?
Okay, you are still there. My screen is now completely black, like not even like backlit. It's completely black. And oh no, we're back.
That would
just
suggest
did
that
an
it lost
update
power.
and reset everything.
Your computer restarting?
No, my computer's not restarting. The video driver just died and then
Oh.
came back.
Yeah, your video driver crashed.
Oh, is that what that is?
That happens sometimes.
Oh, no. NVIDIA just
Yes,
updated
you're-
and then restarted itself. While completely unprovoked, it just did it on its own.
Yes, that it's not an update. Your driver literally just crashed and it
Oh.
restarted itself. Normally, when that happens, you're going to BSOD. However, if your modern drivers and stuff are much better about not causing crashes or not causing complete shutdowns, and instead they just crash the driver and restart it. They're good at getting themselves back running again.
Nice.
So that's a thing that just happened.
The thing that's happened.
It did happen.
Boy, he likes to shimmy. He's a shimmying fool. He's a shimmying Simeon. Shaking that ass, shaking that. Boy, he likes to shimmy. He's a shimmying fool.
Let's see it again. I'm gonna go to the deep end.
Commission updates. I like these.
What kind of commission updates?
A super secret one that I actually cannot really say, only that it is happening and we will see it soon-ish.
Interesting. Very interesting. I'm stroking my beard.
You have a beard?
You
Yes,
have
I
a
have a beard.
beard?
You've got the rapping bug too.
I think I mentioned this before that I actually have a goatee.
Wow.
Never be too surprised when someone doesn't look like how you thought they did.
Okay, normally I actually am probably how you'd actually imagine me, because like pretty soft-faced, but I grew a beard because screw it.
Fair enough.
I wanted to try having a beard, and it's very fluffy.
I wish I could stop having one.
Yeah.
Do you like my voice? Do you like my singing voice? I've been working on it.
Wait, the Liberator's a real gun?
There we go. He's so fucking cute.
There has to be hearts everywhere, though.
There are hearts everywhere. They're drawn with crayon.
Wow, I am very behind. Oh, there they are.
She drew them herself.
That is actually precious. Oh my god.
This. For the anime, hey, your eyes are closed. There's still reflection. And the thing. I usually do that with a.
Oh, I thought that was just like shiny eyeliner.
Kinda is.
Well, that and/or they're just like barely open.
There. Bask in her adorableness.
Yes, I will.
I need a shirt with her now.
I can't because fucking Nintendo.
Right.
Specifically the Pokemon.
Mm.
Freaky gamers.
If you just made like Mike, and then make some knockoff that is close enough that you can still recognize it, but far away enough that they can't cry copyright infringement.
So basically what Maniac.
Same person I'm talking about, yes.
God, that's so good.
Oh, the gun wizard was already done. Here he is. See, he's a warforged, and he has a gun, and he is a wizard. I just finished that, so I started drawing an OC.
A very, very cute one, in fact.
Here's another version. Brain smooth, chest sharp. Not as funny. Not as good as the other one though.
It's still very on point.
It's very sharp of you, Salty. You're a cut above the rest.
Gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
No reaction.
Come on, Home Slice.
What does that have to do with anything?
What?
Don't worry
Home is
about it.
where the heart is, and hers is very, very sharp.
Good. Home is where the knife is.
Yes, home is where most of my knives are.
Okay.
The rest
Well,
are at my
technically,
girlfriend.
actually, that is where technically home is actually where the knives are, because you have kitchen knives too. Usually.
Yep. Also, completely unrelated to this chat, this stream, or this picture. Gaia, imagine this. Sichu, but mantis. Yes
So
or
yes,
no?
yes. It's, think so, probably, but I don't know. She loses the fluff.
True, and that is like one of her biggest traits is just being a walking cotton ball.
My friend Kevin Sano actually made a fantasy race known as Arvel, which they're kind of inspired from carnivores, except they're more like lizard-like. Not green either. They're usually fur brown.
I like them.
Neat.
Kind of like gecko people.
Nice.
G Gaming, are you talking about the rods from God?
Yep, he's talking about the rods from God. I was just having a convo a little bit up there with him. He seems rather fascinated by them.
Really not super practical.
Yeah, it's more of just a dream thing than something that's
Sci-fi.
actually practical.
It makes for great sci-fi setups, but would never life.
It'd make a nice crater, a very large dust cloud, but that's about it. I want anything about like 100 or so meters underground would just be completely deleted, but it's besides the point.
So I don't really have anything more to draw, so I'll just sit around and chat for a little. Stuff. Oh, homebrew stuff that I got. So, as I mentioned, I'm making basically a series of Western things for D&D. Some Western homebrew. Includes weapons and includes several subclasses. What I've come up with is Spellslinger Wizard, a Desperado Ranger, or a Lone Ranger, if you would, a Teamworks Artificer, a basically like a gambler-based bard. It's been done so many times, but why not? Somebody who basically either is or uses or manipulates Lady Luck, or is Lady Luck themselves. Fully make them like burlesque themed. Then there was one other that I had. Oh yeah, and then also a Sapper Rogue who is dedicated on basically breaking into vaults, things like that. J Gaming, in order to get subs, you have to make unique content. That is generally how you get subs. You gotta do more than just like Roblox streams. I'd say Roblox streams because they usually get shitty comments from Roblox.
Yeah, you gotta make stuff people want to watch.
Yeah. Oh hey, this one asshat who was complaining about Hero the Dense 2 not being age restricted completed his prize. Coward. I got some shitty comment from somebody complaining that Hero the Dense wasn't demonetized, but violence did get demonetized or age restricted. Like, bro, the min age to use YouTube is 13. This is designed for 13 and up audience. Anyway, for this, I don't have the homebrew done yet. I have literally only barely started it. I'm still only working Spellslinger and it's not done yet. You have the guns mostly done. For the guns, what I was saying earlier was a lot of people are like, oh hey, yeah, guns need to be super deadly and super powerful. So they're going to have a lot of actions to go into them, but then they're really deadly when you use them. That's just exploitable. Don't fucking do that. Pathfinder, meanwhile, has the approach of, okay, guns bypass all armor, so they attack touch AC. So that is just your dexterity, deflection, and dodge bonuses. Just those, no armor bonuses. And they're fairly short range, and then they do really low damage. Which that doesn't make sense either. Guns should be about as deadly as repulsive weapons. Just because you can throw a dagger, like, okay, that's one thing that's funny. You can throw a javelin and it does more damage per javelin and doesn't have to deal with loading and stuff. Pathfinder. Otherwise, yeah. But anyway, so you don't want them to have excess actions or have excess actions required because that's exploitable, and you don't want them to just target touch AC because that's not realistic. So my solution to that is basically, I don't want to just reskin weapons, but the idea that I went for was ranged weapons usually are balanced by their range itself more than the damage dice that comes with them. Like a hand crossbow is a D6. What am I trying to say? A heavy crossbow, for instance, that has a damage dice of 1d10, but it has a range of 100, whereas a longbow has a damage dice of d8, lacks loading property, and hits out to 150 feet. So the idea is, guns don't have as long range as the drawn or propulsive counterparts, but they do still around the same damage, and they have a few other perks. Like, for instance, a long rifle, it has the reload property on it. So that means, what am I trying to say here? I guess some things to back up with. Some weapon properties that exist already. There is the reload property, which requires a weapon to be loaded with the action or bonus action on the player's turn. So that is different from the loading property where you can only shoot once per round. Instead with this, once you shoot, you have to actually load it before you can use it again, so it actually requires an additional action somewhere. That kind of offsets the higher damage that they might have, but it has to be only a tiny bit of extra damage. Like long rifles in my homebrew hit for 1d12 rather than 1d10. Basically like the musket. So they're almost identical to the musket. Other things that I have in there, shotguns are something that was kind of interesting to me to kind of homebrew, but one of the shotguns that I get, or some of the shotguns I have, a lot of people, for some reason, when they homebrew a shotgun, they're like, okay, everything in a cone has to make a dex saving throw or get hit, or you make an attack roll for everything in a cone. And that is not how shotguns work, if you've ever fired ones. Instead what I have is shotguns treat 3/4 cover like half cover, and half cover like no cover, only within the first range increment. That's fairly short. Additionally, if you shoot a target within 5 feet of you, the damage dice shoots up to a bigger size. So while you might do 1d8 at range, you'll do 1d12 at close range. So that's some of the ideas that I got.
Because not only are you getting hit by the pellets, you're getting hit by the cotton wad and shot cup too. This totally makes sense. I'm joking. In case you can't tell.
Well, what I have actually is instead of reload a feat, there's actually a fighting style that I developed where for weapons with a reload property, you can instead spend 20 feet of movement or 15 feet or 20 feet of movement to reload them. So you actually use your movement as a resource to reload them. So I don't know how well balanced that would be, but I kind of want the loading property to be circumvented by classes that specialize in it. Because I don't want them to completely invalidate the existing weapons. I want you to still want to use a bow if a bow is a better option for you, or a crossbow if a crossbow would work better for your build. I don't want you to feel like, oh hey, yeah, you gotta go with the musket because it's stronger. So I feel like a fighting style kind of helps circumvent that a little bit. You probably wouldn't want to be like a fighter using a long rifle because you get multiple attacks and you wouldn't be able to keep up with the reload economy. But most characters that only get single attacks, like a rogue or a bard, would probably want to use a long rifle.
Interesting.
Well, here's the thing, Ethan. I'm not using muskets. This is for Western-themed rifles, so they actually do use cartridges, not ball and powder. A lot of people try to say, like, oh, hey, yeah, it's a musket, so it's going to take you 4 actions to reload it, and then it's wildly inaccurate, and then it does a shit ton of damage. Like, no, that is exactly how you make poorly balanced weapons, because now you're comparing them on completely different playing fields.
Yeah.
Reactions with the guns would depend on the class. Like, one thing I have idea for the Desperado Ranger is, like, when they roll initiative, they can quick draw a gun and try to shoot somebody before they shoot their friends. So, if they're able to do that, you basically roll your attack, compare it to the target's attack, and if your attack is higher, their attack automatically misses and you hit them. But it only can happen once per fight. And muskets take so long to reload because you have to load in the powder individually as well, ram it down in there, and then you have to load the musket ball. Then you have to ram it down in there using ramrod. Like, look up videos of how a musket reloads and you'll understand why they take so long to reload.
Yeah.
Reloading does not provoke attacks of opportunity in 5e. And anybody can make an unarmed strike amalgam. Unarmed strikes do 1 plus your strength modifier. However, keep in mind that you do not threaten spaces around you with unarmed strikes unless you are a monk. Or if you have improved unarmed strikes from something.
Interesting.
Large thing for Ganser is that a lot of move speed stuff, a lot of it, this can all be calculated, and I'll be running it through tables to make sure that it's not suddenly making guns the de facto option for characters. You know, I'm just noticing that this guy's other leg is really fucking short.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's more the thigh than the rest of it.
I plan to run this through a lot of spreadsheets to make sure it's all balanced.
Interesting.
And again, one thing I want to reiterate, adding in additional actions, like excessive amounts of actions to prepare a gun, will imbalance it no matter what, because it becomes immediately exploitable. If it takes if your guns are wickedly powerful, for instance, but it takes 3 actions to load them, well, guess what you're gonna have players doing? Just bring around 4 fucking guns, fight, and then reload them between fights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's the thing, Sentinel does not allow you to use ranged attacks for opportunity attacks. You can only make melee attacks using Sentinel 5e. But I'm not really concerned about silver bullets and stuff like that, because that's all gear and equipment that can be done after the fact. I'm more focused on the core mechanics of how the weapons work. Again, with the whole shotgun thing about hey, they don't have disadvantage for shooting into melee. They're still ranged attacks, so if you shoot a target other than one within 5 feet of you and you're in melee, will be at disadvantage still. But they can ignore some types of cover, but they're ridiculously short range, and they cannot shoot through allies either. And again, anything that has the loading property on it can be reloaded with an action or a bonus action. So if you're playing a class that doesn't actually need their bonus action, a weapon with the reload property can actually be pretty good. Otherwise, you might want something with a loading property, or you have to basically just be willing to give up your bonus action, or you want to use a weapon without a bonus action requirement. Yes, rules are very hard to balance. Yeah, Call of Cthulhu is more, people are meant to die in Call of Cthulhu. Most games end with the players dying. And again, Ethan, keep making these statements, but you're completely not hearing what I have been saying this entire time. The entire point with guns in D&D is that you'd want to try and do them in a manner that makes them a side grade to existing weapons. They can be slightly stronger in some aspects, but they can also have a little bit more cumbersome to them, but you don't want to basically skew the action economy. So like actually come to think of it, a single fire pistol basically works exactly like a hand crossbow, except just way shorter range. Because that's the only gun that I have in my list so far that is actually loading instead of reload. And it's one damage die higher, so it's a D8 instead of a D6, but it's just way closer range. So that is a trade-off that you have to go with. And you don't get the benefit of crossbow expert, which that is by the crossbow. In the homebrew, I do not have dual-wield shotties yet. Actually, let me just pull up the homebrew. That way I can know what I got so far. Just click gun. So this is what I got. Who needs magic when you got a gun? So like, so far, I've got a single fire pistol, a revolver, long rifle, carbine, single fire shotgun, pump action shotgun, which actually didn't come into the West until much later, and then a double barrel shotgun. So the thing with the scatter property, by the way, or basically two of the properties, all the properties that I have here that are more unique. I just realized I forgot. It's loading. If they have the reload property, they basically have a magazine size, and it takes an action or bonus action to reload them. They have the point blank property. You do not have disadvantage when shooting into point blank, and you deal extra damage, or a higher damage die specific. And scatter property means that you downgrade the cover by 1 within the first range increment. However, at no point can you shoot between allies. So allies and other creatures count as full cover for a target. So if you have an ally between you and your enemy, normally with like a bow or a gun, they would have -2. You'd have +2 to the. They would have +2 to the AC because they count as half cover. 2 creatures would count as 3/4 cover. 3 creatures would count as full cover. For a shotgun, however, all 3 of those would count as full cover. Then, because people bring it up a bit, double barrel weapons. The idea that I have for that is you can shoot both barrels at the same time. However, it requires 2 attacks. You need to have 2 attacks on your turn coming from some source. So if you are hasted and you have a single attack, or you have the extra attack feature. So the idea behind that is how to put it. With double barrel weapons, it would basically be like you are attacking twice using 1 attack roll. So if you have bonuses to your attack rolls, like you have advantage or you have bardic inspiration die, you can apply it to both rolls as a result because you're attacking only once. However, then 2 hits go off. It's treated like 2 hits for the damage purposes. That means if you have on damage or on hit damage effects, it only applies to one of them unless it would apply to both normally. So it doesn't skew the action economy. It's just a situational buff where sometimes you can basically give a boon of that you normally get on one attack roll to 2 attack rolls. So if you have True Strike, you can use that with a double barrel shot and then apply it to both shots. It actually would make True Strike slightly useful. Anyway, hi, there's also other people in the call. I was talking for a while.
No,
Yeah.
do continue. This is interesting.
That's about all I have so far. I do have a few variant options like weapon mods, like the idea of a bayonet, which basically just like you have a dagger on your weapon. Not much. Slugs as an alternate form of ammo for the shotgun, which allow you to it doubles the range of the weapon, but removes the point blank property. Flechettes, which basically just turn the weapon's damage type into slashing and piercing. Scopes, which doubles their first range increment but has no effect on maximum range. And then suppressors, they reduce the range that the firearm will be heard when fired. By the way, all firearms can be heard up to a mile when fired. And then they drop down to 300 feet when you have a suppressor on them. It also reduces the maximum range of the firearm.
Only if using subsonic ammo.
So yeah, as far as the guns that I got so far, I'm also planning on including like a double barrel pistol because those are a thing. But got a single fire pistol. It's a loading weapon, so you don't have to reload it. Got a revolver, which has a reload of 6, otherwise identical to the single fire pistol. Useful for some classes more than others, like if you get extra attack. Long rifle, which is basically a step up from the heavy crossbow. However, it has a reload property, so it's not as good with if you have extra attack. Loading property you can suppress with the crossbow expert, but you can't do that with the long rifle. Got carbine, which is essentially a side grade to the heavy crossbow. Again, you still need to use a bonus action to reload it, but it can hold 5 rounds at a time. It has a shorter range than a heavy crossbow as well. Got single fire shotgun, the other loading weapon in this category instead of reload. Got slightly longer range than the other 2 shotguns, but can only hold 1 round at a time. The pump action, which can hold 4 rounds at a time, and then got the double barrel, which can only hold 2 rounds at a time, but has a more potent double point blank attack. Also has the whole thing of, oh hey, you can shoot both barrels at once using 2 attacks. Generally, interacting with items in 5e, you can interact with one item for free on your turn. You just can't, well, not interact with it. You can pull it out for free on your turn. So if you want to pull out 4 guns as an insect dude, you basically would have a very easy time without needing to reload. Like, hypothetically, you could have 4 loading weapons as a fighter, 4 arms, and 4 attacks. And you could attack with each loading weapon, if it's single-handed, 1 time each round, and not break action economy. It'd be very funny.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
But anyway, that's about everything I got so far. Oh, I also have a Gatling gun idea in there, but it works on a completely different system than normal weapons, so it's not meant for conventional combat, but it is kind of cool for a siege weapon rule. The idea behind it is that everything in a 15-foot square, you can attack with it. You make an attack roll for every single target. And you can attack everything in a 15-foot square. It doesn't use your dex for the damage mod, but for every single attack that you spend cranking the weapon, it increases the damage die by 1. So if you have 3 attacks and you attack 3 targets in an area, you'll make 3 attack rolls, 1 for each one, and then each one you hit will take 3d8 damage. So meanwhile, if you can only make 1 attack against the 3 targets, you'll still make 3 attack rolls, but each one will only take 1d8 damage. But the thing is that Gatling guns require a full minute to set up. Anyway, yeah. So that's basically my gun homebrew. I hopefully will have that available sometime soon if I don't abandon it, because I kind of do that a lot with D&D.
Yeah, it's a mood. With things in general.
I've got so much fucking homebrew, and like none of it I actually really use. Like, actually, just to pull things up, this is all the homebrew that I've written so far. Look at all this.
Oh boy.
Got a
Now we
lot.
wait for the stream to catch up.
Yeah, that's quite a few.
That is a fair number, yes. That is not a small number.
It is
That is a
not
big number.
very big.
Wow.
Anyway, have a Mary. Have another Mary. I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Good night, all, and goodbye. Be excellent to each other.
Laters, folks.
Yay.